Joining us now from the latest is from North Kyiv right now, senior correspondent John Huddy. John, good morning. What are you seeing over there?
A lot of devastation. That's what we're seeing. Good morning to you, by the way. We are about 25 miles just due north of central Kyiv, in one of the villages that was really on the front lines of the battle up until really about a week ago, when Ukrainian forces managed to push those Russian forces back and retake these areas. And just to give you an idea, I'm going to do this walk and talk, and you could follow me here. This was an area where basically there were lumber mills, working factories, and you could just see, and it was torn to pieces, torn to shreds, just like the rest of the village and the surrounding region. We spoke with a family who was evacuating. The first time they were able to leave their home in more than a month. They were locked down. They were trapped as Russian forces overtook this region. And they said the Russians were coming in. We're telling them the Ukrainian army was defeated, as they were also taking generators and going into the homes, gathering food. Before then, the Ukrainian army managed to come in and push them back and push them more north. But if we look around here, I mean, this area was just obliterated. It was torn to pieces, every building destroyed. There are basically the entire area is pockmarked with craters. Craters like this right here, where there are rockets, where mortars landed. That's actually the shell casing of a rocket right there. And if you look around, there's fragments, there's artillery rounds. Actually, I have one right here. Let me pull it out. This is something, it was probably a 30-millimeter round that we found. And also over here, there was the shell casing. Thanks, Jim. Shell casing of a mortar. So you look around, I mean, you're going to find this all over the place. But again, Ukrainian forces did retake most of this region. There are still pockets to the north where there is resistance from some Russian troops. But the Russians abandoned a major airport. They abandoned some of these very key strategic areas, like this one, because it sits on what's called the Kyiv Sea. It's a massive reservoir. There's a dam here. So this was a really key point, because if the Russian troops were able to break through the Ukrainian lines, they'd have a straight shot off to Kyiv. But at this point, again, Ukrainian military forces have retaken the area. It's a different story to the east. There's fierce fighting in the Donbass region. Also to the south, Mariupol, there's a massive evacuation effort that's ongoing there. Russian forces have gone back into Belarus, as we've been reporting, to basically refuel, to regroup, resupply. And the thought is that they will potentially head eastward to group up with other forces, with Russian troops in the east, and then ultimately down in the south. Yeah. There remains concern, however, about those forces launching possibly another offensive into this region, though that seems more and more unlikely, particularly after they abandoned one of the major airports near here, just north of us. So there is the concern that perhaps they'll increase air sorties, airstrikes, but it remains very quiet, at least for now. But as we know, that could change very quickly. Yeah,
John Huddy, thank you very much. Amazing report. We appreciate it. Stay safe. All right, folks, keeping the focus on Ukraine, I want to now welcome in Ukrainian Parliament member Yevhenia Kravchuk. I'm hoping I got that right. Ma'am, welcome to Wake Up America.
Good morning.
So before we dive into this, I mean, we're 38 days into this war, and you know, a lot of the American people, they've become almost like numb to the notion that there's a war going on. But the fact is that, like, these cities that are being bombed out right now, where it's being fought, you know, person-to-person combat, it's like it's Cincinnati, it's Chicago, it's New York City. They were your cities. These are your lands. Talk to us about how personal this is, and why the American people shouldn't kind of let this one go by the wayside.
Well, it is very personal, because my husband, who I haven't seen for 38 days now, is in Kyiv region. He's head of police departments in one of the cities close to Kyiv. It wasn't taken by Russians, but they are freeing the villages, village by village. And in different villages we are freeing, we're seeing, you know, the horrible atrocities, just piles of dead bodies just on the side of the street. Russian soldiers would just tie these people people, rape them, and then shoot and kill. And this is, 21st century we're talking about. And then you have this story about someone smacking someone else's face. And, I'm sorry to say, but for us, it's our country is on stake right now.
I want to be clear about something you just said. I'm sorry to interrupt you. You said there's sexual assault going on by the Russian troops?
Yes, I mean, they rape even kids. I mean, we have the information that's even raped a 2-year-old girl. They kept a 15-year-old girl for 10 days, and then she sort of fled away and found the volunteers to take her out. I mean, this is horrible. You can't really imagine what it's going. Imagine a mom in Mariupol that has to dig out a dead body of a 2-year-old daughter that was killed by a missile in the theater. I'm sorry to say, I mean, it's 7 a.m, you're probably drinking your coffee, but it's horrible what they do. And the only thing to stop these atrocities is to kick them out. Yeah. Just give us a tool. That's our message to the administration, to our counterparts in Congress we met. Give us the tools, give us heavy weapons. We need to keep them out of our country. And that's how to stop the humanitarian catastrophe, these rapings, these killings, because Putin will not stop in Ukraine if he's not stopped.
Well, real quick, I want to ask you, so one of the things that I've been concerned about, having been to war myself, is the fact that the other side could seize some of the resources going in and use it for their own war efforts. And Russia has reportedly confiscated 14 tons of humanitarian aid intended for Ukrainians. I mean, how often are you seeing this happen? How much of the aid that we're sending and how much of the money that's being spent and allocated to aid is actually getting to the people of Ukraine?
Well, I will be really straightforward because I'm from the committee which deals on humanitarian issues. We see that such big organizations as Red Cross and some of the UN services, they do not work on the ground. So if you want to donate money, I'm sorry to say, but do not do that for Red Cross. Just find a counterpart in the NGO in Ukraine who are working on the ground. And Russians would not let the humanitarian aid for such cities as Mariupol, not just letting these buses with food, with water, and there are more than 100,000 of people still trapped, literally trapped in Mariupol. They are still in the basements, and Russians would not let them go by buses, by organized columns, just going by private transportation, and they even they shoot these cars which has big signs, kids on the left and back. And, there is no war crime that Russians have not committed yet in Ukraine. So we really, really need to stop them. And if we have the tools, we will do that. Look at our army. Remember how the intelligence all said that Ukraine will fall, 3 to 5 days or
a week,
2 weeks. And we are staying and we are counter-attacking. We are able to do that.
Yeah. Taking back territory. Yevhenia Kravchuk, we appreciate you joining us. Stay safe over there. I'm sorry that you're having to go through all this.
Thank you so much. And thank you for all Americans for this support. We feel it. We really feel this support. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Have a great day. Try to stay safe. Appreciate it.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, where real news for real people.